that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it. In my bones, I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it. In my bones, I'm coming for it, coming for it. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys, happy Monday evening. Sorry for the late start. Of course, right when I decide to start the live stream, my Google Fiber decides that it wants to barf, and I had to reboot, unplug the power, restart the router, check the whatever Google attaches to your wall, all sorts of red LEDs. Anyways, we got it sorted out. And let's see who's in the chat here. Dink, this chat is this live stream is going to be going over a question that Dink asked me in Discord today in our GameStop room. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, it is free to join. Links are in all of the video descriptions. Most of the rooms are behind a paywall. There are free rooms. You're welcome to come in and chat with the community members. I mostly hang out behind the paywall. So if you want access to all of our DD by ticker or by topic, then maybe if you join the Discord, choose one of the paid options and help support the channel. Dink had asked me today, isn't GameStop profitable in the United States? And I have a spreadsheet where I track all of GameStop's income statement and make projections and do forward forecasting. I have forward forecasting done for GameStop all the way through the remainder of this year. But I have not looked by segment. And yes, they were profitable for the last fiscal year in the United States. After a quick review. So what I'm going to do during this live stream, I cannot believe it's already 9 o'clock and I'm still working, but had to go run some errands with the wife. And here we are, still working away now that I'm back in front of the desk. We're going to put together a little spreadsheet that goes over, at least, for right now, I'm going to set it up for the last 4 quarters and the last fiscal year by segment, because GameStop is closing Canada, Italy, Germany. They're planning on closing France. I don't know that they have. Correct me if you know any different. And that would leave them just with their Australia, New Zealand. But I think right now it's France and Australia. So, Ryan Cohen's been doing the hard work to close down all the non-profitable segments, and maybe that shifts our analysis a little bit going forward. If we can start thinking about GameStop not having 5 money-losing segments every quarter except Q4. Maybe they just end up with one segment, the United States, and it's profitable. That is a worthwhile thing to make sure we crisply understand. And look, I'm watching 50 different companies. I have a spreadsheet to help me make predictions on GameStop's quarters by putting in guesses for revenue and SG&A as a percentage of sales and the bond rate and their cash balance so I can calculate interest. But some of the dynamics of that spreadsheet are going to change as they eliminate unprofitable segments. Ryan's been doing the good work, and I want to make sure that I'm thinking about it the right way going forward. So y'all, we can chat and y'all can watch me build a little spreadsheet here. I'm going to be pulling data from the 10 Qs. Sparky, how you doing? Thank you, Sparky. Been sending me some thoughts on bonds. I would like to talk with you, Sparky, maybe on a live stream later this week about GameStop bonds again, because man, there's still so much misinformation. I don't think it's people purposely trying to mislead each other. I think it's just people not understanding still convertible bonds. We might have to be preaching this message for years. And I still see in AMC the 566, ridiculous bond talk. People thinking the bonds are going to convert early, whatever. We'll just keep on educating, and if people want to pay attention, they can, and if they don't, then good luck. We're going to be trading on our DD. Y'all can trade on yours. If you think bonds are going to convert early, then go ahead and buy your call options, and good luck. Anya, welcome. Dink, I already said hello. Mr. Premium of the option says YOLO time. Yes, sir. That's what Ryan Cohen said, right? Speaking of Ryan Cohen, I want to just rewatch this 5 or 6 minute interview, 5 minutes and 41 seconds from last week at the Bitcoin conference, because I think Ryan did mention in this interview that the company is profitable in the US. And so let's just hear him say that, and then we'll pull some data out of 10 Qs and get that tab on the GME calculator spreadsheet going. Dink says, I did not find any confirmation that France had sold yet. I did not either, Dink. I looked earlier today when we were chatting. All right, let's roll this interview. Volume.
Here with the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Cohen from GameStop. What's up, Ryan?
What's up? How are ya?
Doing well, man. I'm enjoying these Bitcoin prices. How about you?
It's all good.
Well, let's get started. We're talking innovative corporate strategies. We're talking pioneering new paths. You turned GameStop around from a dying business to a thriving business. How'd you do it?
When I took over, the company was a piece of crap and losing a lot of money. The company was under a lot of pressure, moving from physical games to digital downloads. So you had to cut costs. You had to cut costs very aggressively and bring in fiscal discipline. And we did. And retail is a tough business, but it was a big focus on getting costs under control. You've got a lot of macro headwinds going against the company. You have a move from physical games to digital downloads, and we needed to get the costs under control, and also shift the business from being so reliant on video games to collectibles, which we've done. And so now there's a big focus on trading cards. We're doing grading in a bunch of stores, and we're selling a lot of trading cards, both in sports and TCG. But the company today is profitable in the US, and we've gotten our costs under control. You had a lot of executives and directors that were very short-sighted, and effectively they were making decisions that were what they call in corporate America in good corporate governance, which is effectively screwing shareholders. So we got rid of all of that nonsense, and we focused on running the business profitably.
Well, you also made some news about, a month ago or so, that you raised some money that you might use to buy Bitcoin. I guess the $1 million question that everyone wants to know is, has GameStop bought Bitcoin?
We have. We have bought Bitcoin.
Ooh.
Did he already say it and I missed it? Dink, what was the timestamp where he said that GameStop was profitable? Do you remember from our earlier conversation?
Okay, how much?
We currently own 4,710 Bitcoins. It's under control. You've got a lot of macro headwinds going against the company. You have a move from physical games to digital downloads, and we needed to get the costs under control, and also shift the business from being so reliant on video games
145. Okay.
to collectibles, which we've done. And so now there's a big focus on trading cards. We're doing grading in a bunch of stores, and we're selling a lot of trading cards, both in sports and TCG. But the company today is profitable in the U.S.
All right.
And,
That's what we wanted to hear him say.
Costs are under control. You had a lot of executives and
I'm going to go ahead and let this
directors that
finish
were
out.
very short-sighted, and effectively they were making decisions that were what they call in corporate America in good corporate governance, which is effectively screwing shareholders. So we got rid of all of that nonsense, and we focused on running the business profitably.
Well, you also made some news about, what, a month ago or so, that you raised some money that you might use to buy Bitcoin. I guess the $1 million question that everyone wants to know is, has GameStop bought Bitcoin?
We have. We have bought Bitcoin.
Ooh. Okay, how much?
We currently own 4,710 Bitcoins.
Let's go. Let's go. So tell us about that. Why did GameStop decide to buy Bitcoin?
It was, if the thesis is correct, then Bitcoin and gold as well can be a hedge against global currency devaluation and systemic risk. Bitcoin has certain unique advantages compared to gold. The portability aspect of it's instantly transferable across the globe, whereas gold is bulky and very expensive to ship. The authenticity, it's instantly verified via the blockchain. The storage, you can easily secure Bitcoin in a wallet, whereas gold requires insurance and it's very expensive. There's the scarcity element of it as well. There's a fixed supply of Bitcoin, whereas with gold, certain technological advances, the supply of gold is still uncertain. And then ultimately, there's the asymmetric upside. Gold is a more mature market. It's sort of roughly around 20 trillion of market capitalization, whereas Bitcoin today is about 2 trillion. And if the thesis is correct, and ultimately Bitcoin becomes digital gold, adopted, then there's more upside. But we'll see what happens. Nobody has a crystal ball, but that's the current thesis.
Well,
some people were guessing that this interview was pre-recorded a month ago, 6 weeks ago, and that Ryan Cohen, was saying that because he said, you guys just bought Bitcoin, you guys just announced Bitcoin in the last month or so. This gentleman here, David, I think David, probably didn't remember exactly what date, so he was just making a generalizing statement. I think that this interview was recorded last week during the Bitcoin conference, and my evidence of that is this guy's filming from a very nice suite in a hotel room, from what it looks like to me. That looks like a hotel room door, the typical hotel room mirror right when you come in. He's got another little living room back here. He got a couple sinks right here. This looks like a pretty swanky Vegas suite. So I don't think this was pre-recorded. That's just my guess.
Well, congratulations, and I feel like GameStop is the ultimate.
Yeah, the
GameStop,
tiny
Bitcoin is
fridge.
the
Yes,
ultimate
Anya.
money, and if you combine the two, you get
And the
a meme
artwork
super
looks
cycle.
very
So, you know, what's
Vegas
next
hotel.
for GameStop and Bitcoin? Are you going to buy more Bitcoin? Is this the next micro strategy, the next meta planet, or even better?
We're not going to call our shots in advance for obvious reasons, but GameStop is following GameStop's strategy. We're not following anyone else's strategy.
Okay. So to summarize, embrace the GameStop theory. I like it. So final question. The world is watching right now. Everyone at the conference is watching this interview. We probably have 10 million, 50 million people on the live stream. What is the message you'd like to send the global Bitcoin community and everyone who's watching this interview right now?
No pressure. No pressure. Don't follow GameStop. Make your own decisions independently. It's my message. Just do whatever you're comfortable with.
Don't trust, verify. Let's go.
Exactly.
Well, Ryan, thank you for hopping on. Congratulations on your Bitcoin buy. To many more. Let's go. Thank you.
YOLO.
YOLO.
That guy's summary of everything that Ryan Cohen says is hilarious. Like, Ryan makes one statement, like, do whatever you're comfortable with, don't follow us, trust but verify. Like, how do you get trust but verify out of what he just said? That is hilarious. All right, so that is the interview. Ryan did say that the company was profitable in the US. I'm going to pull up the 10K and show you what I was looking at right before we came live. And then let's see which, I got a bunch of GameStop tabs here. We're going to go create a new tab here called segment information, segment performance. And let's look at one of the 10. Let's look at the 10K. Give me a second and I'll put it up on the screen. Answer Sparky's question about, is it including interest or not? From what I saw right before we came live, Sparky is not including interest. The US is profitable. So when we go to a 10K or a 10Q of a company that has multiple segments in different countries, you can search for segment information to find this page quickly. And we have here for GameStop the 10K as of fiscal year ending February 1st, 2025. We got 4 segments: US, Canada, Australia, and Europe. And then the total consolidated, and they have income statement items here: net sales, cost of sales, SG&A. Oh, they do have interest income, but only on the consolidated line item. So if we look at operating income, Sparky, to answer your question, US profitable over the year, 33 million. And then you had, I'm live right now, babe. And then you had the other segments losing money, which resulted in a operational loss. Even though all the YouTubers say GameStop's profitable, let's be honest with ourselves. It's not profitable operationally at the core business. It's profitable because of interest income. When we add that interest income in, the net income was 131 million positive. But what we want to do in this little spreadsheet here is start looking at it by quarter, because I want to be able to forecast and refine my spreadsheet as we go forward, knowing that we're taking some of these segments out. United States, Canada, Australia. I'm just going to pull the data over from the 10Qs and the 10Ks. And this will be kind of our basis for what I will be using to try and better my predictions for GameStop. going forward, because we can start taking out some of these numbers. What do we want to track here? All of these items or just? Let's see how easy I can copy this over. You know what? I think I'm going to do it like this. Q1, Q2, Q, just for the first stab at this spreadsheet. We're going to just do operating income and loss. Well, crap, that doesn't want to paste in easy. Of course, it can't be easy. All right, that is the fiscal year. November 2nd, that would be Q3. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see the spreadsheet, my bad. All right, Q3, operating earnings or loss, United States. I'll have to compute Q4 once I get these other ones input. Next up is Q2. I already have the tabs open for the 10Qs. So I'm just searching to find the data and then drop it in here. Q2 was profitable in the US. And last but not least, Q1 2024. Big loss. Q1 is the one that we have coming up. I'm looking at Q1 last year. That was pretty big loss. Be interesting to see how they've trimmed that up over the past 12 months. We'll find out in about 9 days. All right, and so now we need to compute. Not plus. These negative numbers are going to make the formula wonky. I'm just going to do it the manual way. 33.9. Where will that work? Will that formula work? Nope. All right, while I'm pulling up the math here on my handy dandy calculator, let's see what comments you guys got. Richie Rich says Ryan Cohen is all about the money. Roaring Kitty pushes GameStop up with posts. Not lately, but yes, last year he did. Ryan sells billions of new shares, billions of dollars, and raises over $1 billion for Bitcoin investment without immediately increasing the share count. He wants to talk about Bitcoin investment results in conjunction with quarterly results, not alone. Yeah, I mean, the Bitcoin investment, we'll find out over the next several years if it was a good deal or not. And we'll also need to determine, what their cost basis is. So Q4 must have been positive 64.6. Yep. All right. Yeah, Anya, your husband's a math whiz. Have him check my formulas or my results there. So what we see here, let's do a couple of other things here just to make it easier on the old eyes. We'll set up some conditional formulas. All right. Sparky says Anya, interest is being earned on $6 billion in cash at the moment, probably around 4%. Yeah, I was going through the calculator for about an hour last night, Sparky, and I think I'm coming up with a number, just, spitballing it because we don't know exactly what they had invested, which treasury product they chose, what the exact yield is, but I'm coming up with a number somewhere around 60 million per quarter. Does that seem reasonable? Anya, have your husband cross-check me. If we figure 6 billion or so at about 4.2% annual interest. All right, so what do we see here? US was profitable, had a loss in Q1, a big one. Q1's coming up, so something to think about. All of the other segments were a loss in Q1, but Europe is mostly gone now, except for France. And Australia, they still have. Canada was still around in Q1. Canada transaction closed on May 5th, if my memory serves correctly. So February, March, April, that'll be in Q2. We can start taking out Canada. Q2 was marginally profitable in the US. Q3 was a loss. And then all of their profits really were from Q4 in the US. God dang it, can't even spell. Segment performance. So, things to think about. This is going away. Nah, I'm not gonna do that yet because we still got this tanglement of France. We're gonna have to obviously get some more data, but Sparky says yes, 250 million a year at 4% on 6 billion. So you're in agreement with me. I mean, I think we can use a rough estimate that GameStop will make around $60 million a quarter if they just let all of their cash earn interest on short-term treasuries. And by that I'm looking at, you know, anything that's 6 months or less. Or is it 90 days or less? What do they consider cash equivalent? Might be 90 days or less. Anyways, it's a short-term treasury. Some portion of that 500 million just went to go buy Bitcoin. However, that will not be impacting Q1. So I think on the calculator last night, I had roughly estimated that operationally across the whole business, GameStop is going to lose about 30 million in Q1, and then they'll make profit-wise from interest. Sorry, profit is not the right word. They will make interest income of around 60 million, giving them a net profit of around 30 million, give or take. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see from the results. And while Ryan Cohen did say that the company is profitable in the United States, and the numbers here agree with that, really what we want to watch for in Q1, and I don't know what the outcome is going to be, did they get it so profitable that they're even profitable in a slow Q1? Did they cut so many underperforming stores in that culling at the beginning of this year in the United States that they're now profitable? That would be a huge hurdle, positive, to overcome. I mean, I'd love to see that for GameStop. So these are some, I guess, just some interesting things to think about, things I'm going to be watching for in the upcoming earnings. Did they flip the US profitable for a Q1? And as these other segments here get removed from the business, Canada and Europe, how does that improve the overall picture? That's kind of where I'm at. I have a lot of other things that I'm looking at, valuing some market cap scenarios, depending on how much Bitcoin GameStop bought, how much we could add to their market cap. These are things for other videos. We're not going to go into all that tonight. We've already done the comp comparison. If you're wondering why GameStop, you know, the analysts keep saying it, the fair value is $13 because they have no earnings, and analysts don't look at social media to get valuation. They run earnings-based valuation models, which, you know, any of you who've taken an accounting or finance class, apparently nobody on YouTube, any of you who have taken an accounting or finance class know how to do a earnings-based share price valuation. And the earnings is so low on GameStop that it's probably about $6. So we just throw that away and we look at the book value, because the book value is actually greater than their earnings-based valuation. So you come up with a valuation for GameStop right at about book value until they improve earnings per share. So that's something we're going to be watching for with updated Q1 results, and every quarter after this year. If they can get the earnings up, then I think, you know, there's a chance you could see the analysts start increasing their fair value prices that they publish. The analysts, the one, Michael Pachter. Right now he's defaulting to book value because the earnings are so low that book value is the greater of the two, if you follow what I'm saying. Analysts do not care about GameStop having $6 billion in cash earning 4%. There's no extra credit given for having a pile of cash until you put it to use. This is how analysts in Wall Street are looking at GameStop. We, retail, look at that pile of cash and say, but that is potential. Yes, it is absolutely potential, but it's got to be put to work if you want Wall Street to get on board. So until then, until that cash is put to work, we're speculating. We're speculating when we invest in GameStop. We know we're overpaying because there are no earnings and the book value is only $13. So we're overpaying. Or if you're buying it and holding it, you're overpaying on the speculative bet that that money will be wisely invested to generate enough earnings to come up with a valuation close to today's price. Maybe Bitcoin gets them there. That's why I really like the Bitcoin play if Bitcoin goes up. Sparky says, what I worry about, say GameStop makes $400 million a year, 450 million shares, 88 cents a share, times 25 PE ratio is $22. Yep. And this is what I'm saying, right? I have models in the calculator, and I'm not going to put it up tonight, where I can input any earnings and tell you exactly what an analyst is going to value the company at. I have several valuation models in the calculator, just like an analyst would. And you're not going to get Michael Pachter, on 400 million a year in earnings to say that GameStop's worth $30. You're just not. Because just as Sparky is laying out here, when you multiply those earnings times a reasonable PE ratio, you can't quite get there. But, if we can get closer to the current price, Sparky, that takes some of the risk off of our speculative trading, right? I feel a little bit exposed owning GameStop at $37 when the real value is $13. And when I say real value, how Wall Street is looking at it. Remember, if you must understand how they are valuing it, guys, because they're going to be your enemy. They're the ones shorting it. You must understand why. Don't just listen to these YouTubers that say, hey, Wall Street, why aren't you? why aren't you valuing GameStop at $50? It's very elementary. Any freshman in a college finance class could answer that question. The fact that these GameStop YouTubers in 5 years have not learned how to do an earnings-based valuation model is astonishing to me. They act like they don't understand why GameStop's not valued at $50. There is no earnings. When the earnings are there, the valuation from analysts will come up. It's very basic. This is not difficult stuff. If we want to speculate in the meantime, that's fine. I do it every quarter. I go in and buy some GameStop when it's cheap and then sell it into the run-ups. I understand the risk I'm taking, but I'm playing the chart at that moment. And I know I'm only holding it for a short time. Mr. Premium says, is the PSA agreement a waste? You mean their partnership with PSA? Is that what you're asking me? Is that a waste? And Anya says, unless you think collectibles is going to be popular. I'm going to include trading cards in collectibles, Anya. And I mean, collectibles is a hot segment right now. It's absolutely adding revenue and profit margin to GameStop. The thing to think about, no, you don't really need. If you're really a worrywart like I am, you guys know how trends come and go. Like, how long is the Pokemon craze going to last this time? I'm not super worried about that answer because I don't think it's going to stop tomorrow. And Ryan Cohen has $6 billion in cash and no debt. And his business is barely bleeding money. GameStop is not going anywhere. He's got time to sit there and think about it. But do you have time? Do you have time? I see every day more and more people getting frustrated. I'm out. I'm done with GameStop. The posts are all over Reddit. I'm done with GameStop. I'm tired of waiting. This thing's never going to mow ass. You know, Ryan Cohen's not doing anything. People get tired. People get worn out. That they don't understand all of the pieces of the puzzle and how long it takes to fix a company like GameStop. And they really are on the verge of fixing it. It's really now up to Ryan Cohen and GameStop to announce doing something with that cash. That, my friends, is when you might start seeing things really change as far as positive news. And is he going to acquire a business down the road? Is he going to develop a business, or is he just going to keep going in to Bitcoin like MicroStrategy? We're going to be watching to find out. So yeah, I do think the PSA partnership absolutely brings value to GameStop. Not as much as the GameStop only YouTubers think. And I don't say that because I hate GameStop. I say that because I've talked to card shops. I've talked to online resellers of cards. And I've carefully thought about, from listening to them, I asked them, you know, what are the good things about this business and what are the bad things about it? And there are some bad things about the business. You have inventory that gets stale. You have inventory that you buy, but then the value of the card goes down and you get stuck with a card that's a declining asset value, and then you got to dump it for a loss. You know, there's a lot of moving parts, and I don't claim to be an expert, but I certainly don't think anybody covering GameStop on YouTube is an expert either. They're the rose-colored glasses voice of PSA. I have a little bit more realistic approach. It's definitely, I think, a value add for GameStop, but it's maybe not quite as miraculous as some of the GameStop YouTubers are making it out to be. And as long as the trading card business is growing and popular, you know, that's a great addition to their collectibles segment. I like it. So anyways, hopefully, you know, I haven't even eaten dinner yet tonight. It's 9:30. I wanted to listen to what Ryan said tonight. I wanted to show you guys that yes, GameStop from the 10Qs and the 10Ks is most definitely operationally profitable in the US. I will use that as a positive talking point going forward. Everyone's always wanting me to have more positive talking points. Hey, this is a fucking good positive talking point. For the year, I think it is reasonable to expect this coming year that GameStop will be also profitable in the US. And as they dump Canada and Europe, then that makes things look better for GameStop. Maybe not $37 a share better, but definitely better. We're going to start including this type of thinking in our forward analysis of other quarters in the Discord as we're mapping out our strategy for buying GameStop cheap, thinking about what's coming up in each quarter, what the price action is likely to do, watching Bitcoin, a lot of moving parts now. It's a lot more complicated than it was before. You got the big players running all their arbitrage trades, also the convertible bond players, which affects bonds, it affects options, it affects the share price. This is not a simple trade anymore, and anyone who is making simple-minded assumptions is going to get this trade wrong. Best thing that I can say is pray to the gods, both old and new, that Bitcoin doubles by the end of this year. That would be fantastic for GameStop, and that they continue to buy it while it's cheap. I'm going to wrap this up with our GameStop Up and to the Right song, and then I'm going to go eat some dinner and spend a little time with the wife. We'll try and do a market open live stream tomorrow again, so I hope to see y'all there. Have a good night. Trade smart. Be safe. We love you. And we will see you on the next one.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays, my fortune flip.